Oh yes, there we go again. Back to Heroes of Might and Magic 4 for the most beloved and cursed campaign of them all. The Gauldoth.
Can you go years without talking to another human being? What about untold months, snatching your meals from the forest floor and sleeping in muddy pits? Sanity is a spider clinging to a fluttering thread of web, unaware of the fingers reaching for it, catching it, plopping it in my mouth.
You know it's good when the intro is moody, weirdly philosophical and just vague enough to let your imagination spiral. Also, I'm taking the difficulty back to advanced. Last time I tried this with barbarians and I got folded like laundry. This time, I believe in Gauldoth. Kinda. Either way, hello everyone, I'm Tesak and as you can see we are once again playing Heroes 4. Meet the Gauldoth, our charming, rotting protagonist. Half zombie, half man. Fully misunderstood. The good people of Great Arkan, remember them from the Order campaign, seem to think he's onto murdering children. The truth? Our man just wanted some eggs and maybe chicken nugget or two. But no, instead of brunch, they try to burn him at stake. Lucky for him, he's got a few spells up his sleeve and pulls a gun to alt escape. And we begin our journey by fleeing into Forgotten Cemetery, which is about as on brand as it gets for this campaign. While wandering between headstones and having weird emo monologues, Gauldoth realizes something. He's got free will. Not sure if it's a good thing for everyone else, but hey, it's character growth. Now, here is where I have a moment. You see, Gauldoth starts with nature magic, which makes no sense if I am committing to the pure death path. Lore-wise, it is fine. He's curious about life and nature, and maybe wants to know more about how to corrupt it. But gameplay-wise, this is a hard no for me. As always, I'm sticking to the main allegiance of magic. I made promise, that magic only. So, farewell summoning magic, we are doing this the dirty way. Later, we roll up on a town, and Gauldoth shares his tragic origin story. During the reckoning, he tried to save his dark arts master from collapsing library, as one does. In desperate bid to survive, he flings a spell way above his pay grade, and now he's half dead, half charred, and 100% exiled from society. Well, it got us there. We are now squatting in a forest protected by a druid named Halas, who, shocker I know, doesn't love our undead army dragging its bone through his ecosystem. But since Halas stands between us and Vitros, the town that tried to give us the flamethrower treatment earlier, he's gotta go. Gauldoth has vengeance in his heart, but he's not totally unhinged, which, to be fair, still includes turning the entire town into zombies. But hey, justice. After wiping out Orange Player and claiming a second town, things really pick up. I grab a nice summoning spell from Demonology line, which technically is still dead magic, so no shame here. Then the green player attacks me, which is actually great. Someone comes to me instead of making me crawl across half the map, which is kinda pained with the army of slow undeads. With stack of vampires and Grandmaster Necromancy on the horizon, we are rolling. High tier Necromancy means I can now bring back some real units, not just discount skeletons. Once we take down the green player, Gauldoth starts being poetic about nature magic again. He wants to understand it deeply, maybe use it to rise undead without necromancy or something. Lore-wise, this explains why he starts with it, but in practice, it's still trash. We are sticking to the plan. Eventually, we capture Vitros. Every single person is slaughtered to be raised into service. The local lord is tortured and turned into mute skeleton. Poetic, really. And then we send a lone survivor back to Emilia Nighthaven, remember her? With a note blaming barbarians. Remember that moment from the campaign. Gauldoth is genius, isn't he? Oh, and bonus twist. That survivor? We will reward him later with immortality, by turning him into vampire under our command. That being said, We managed to complete the first map, so to map 2 we go. New map and new dream sequence. Turns out Gauldoth wakes up in a cold sweat almost every night, and this time he was haunted by a vision of his old master being tortured by demons. Naturally, he interprets this as a sign that that guy might still be alive. Hopefully, maybe. Is that delusional? Almost definitely. But we are off on another grand journey. We also get some good news. Necros, our charming undead kingdom, is actually doing alright. So well, in fact, that Gauldoth started punishing some of his own minions by giving them tiny bit of free will, just enough to feel bad about betraying their former lives. We are also clued in the Demon Undead Alliance. If you remember, in Heroes 3, we had Necropolis and Inferno, while in Heroes 4, there's only Necropolis. Apparently, it's a marriage of convenience, born out of mutual suffering during reckoning. Same vibes as roommate situation where no one likes each other, but no one can also afford to move out. Either way, in this campaign our goal, find the legendary Angel Blade so we can open a portal. But before we start dreaming about stabbing things with divine metal, Gauldoth briefly considers conquering the entire Great Archon. Then he immediately talks himself out of it, realizing that getting too big too fast, especially for Necromancer, makes you everyone's favorite target. Once again, nature magic calls to me. Once again, I spit in its leafy face. The game practically begs me to start summoning wolves and fairies and all that forest nonsense, but I made a vow. That magic only. I smashed through major nature stack and hit level cap. No Grandmaster magic yet, sadly. Probably disabled for this map anyway, which is kinda rude. Eventually I snack a town with Temple of the Damned, which is a delightful name and gives me devils. And honestly, devils are far better than bone dragons, so devils every time. Also, there is quest requiring 8 bone dragons to unlock a tent. I bought 7 and the game was like close enough, which is hilarious and very on brand for not only this campaign but Heroes 4 in general. Lucky us, we found a university that cements Gauldoth's build. Yes, I know. Once again, I am creating spell-slinging general who can scout, snipe, soul harvest and yada yada yada. But it's not about the build. It's about the experience, right? Eventually, we find the hilt of Angel's Blade, forged by Demon, because of course it was. We need to be level 18 to get it, which we are, so we are good to go. And we almost immediately break it to open a portal, dive in, and find our crispy old mentor Calibar. Burnt? Check. Rotting? Check. Still alive? Somehow. Map 3 time. We start strong. Gauldoth shows Calibar the shiny new capital of Necrorum. Explains the whole Demon Alliance thing to make us stronger. The plan to keep the living alive until further notice, to make us prosper. And then we just hand it over. And Calibar's only reaction is like, it's a start. Which is kinda brutal. Either way, we are exploring again. We are grabbing a spawning pit to get some venom spawns. Meh. And at Shrine we get free Grandmaster Occultism, which is nice surprise. And yes, I know about the poison exploit. No, I'm not using it. That sound effect is terrible. Meanwhile, in Necrorum, turns out the Demon Undead Alliance isn't going that well. Shocking, I know. Riots erupt across the whole Necros and are led by demons who are suddenly feeling spicy. To restore order, if we can call it that, Calibar tasks us with activating 5 pillars of power. Of course he does. While scouting, we stop a village raid by some rogue imps. Yay, hero moment. Until one of our vampires breaks rank, disobeys orders, and we have to make an example out of him. So, back to the usual. Also, the game is old and janky. Combat sometimes double loads, which was cute bug for quick XP, but in Necropolis it leads to constantly soft-locking me thanks to necromancy pop-ups, which is great. I have to restart the game like every 10 minutes. While limping through the map, we meet Alana, a healer we rescued from the same village we mentioned before. Later, we are injured and she heals our still living half, revealing she's a priest, of course. Gauldoth offers her a chance to leave, to return to Grand Archon. She declines, says She wants to save us. Bless her naive little heart, I guess. We keep pushing forward, capturing towns and checking off pillars. Not a lot of story until the end, where it all crashes down. At the final pillar, Alana begs Gauldoth not to activate it, says it's evil. He challenges her instead. If she really believes good is stronger than evil, she should do it. She does, and it kills her instantly. Gauldoth, stone-faced, admitted he knew that would happen. He just needed someone else to take the hit. And with that, we are done with map 3 and to map 4 we go. To begin with, Calibar wants more power. To get it, we are told to betray our closest ally and steal a powerful artifact from him. And we do, because this is necromancer politics, and trust is for the living. We get early access to Hand of Death, and oh boy, it rips through enemy heroes. This is our new MVP spell. Mid-map, we are stopped by Ghost Messenger. Our loyal lieutenant back home says Calibar is kidnapping children and sending them through some portal. For reasons, we tell him to play along for now. But Gauldoth is clearly getting uncomfortable. We also prank some monks by reanimating corpse of their saint while stealing his armor because we needed to craft a shield. Classic undead humor. Eventually, we confront and kill our ally. Take his artifact only to find out it's incomplete. Why is it always incomplete? Either way, it's enough to end map 4, so map 5, there we come. We return to find Necrom in shambles. Calibar has trashed this place, turned it into another joyless necromancer state. He grabs the artifact and jumps into portal to another plane of existence, where he meets some cosmic entity and hatches a plan to destroy the entire world. Because sure, why not? Gauldoth realizes this plan would also kill him, which frankly seems like the only reason he turns on Calibar. Back in the real world, Gauldoth frees the children, renounces his master title, and vows to rebuild Necros as kingdom of fairness, sort of. The living gets to live, unless there's an emergency, basically. We got 4 months to beat this map, and the way that's phrased, I'm not sure if we have to beat the map after 4 months or before the 4th month passes. I don't know, I'm just gonna wing it. We rescue captured allies from the Death Dimension, we rebuild towns, and we find that, for the first time ever, people actually like Gauldoth, which is weird and kinda sweet. Eventually, Calibar gets annoyed and rushes us with everything he's got. It's a brutal battle, I burn through immortality potions like candy, but we survive. Calibar is dead, the world is saved, Gauldoth is crowned King of Necros. And that's it. That's the big finale. He becomes king and kind of just wipes out. A little underwhelming considering we just stopped another reckoning. But hey, we made it. Gauldoth, the chicken thieving, half-burnt, morally flexible corpse wizard, is now ruler of the undead nation. Roll the credits. Before I go, I would like to mention that I remember this campaign being grander, bigger, more complex. Sure, Gauldoth is fun character to learn about and he goes through a long journey. But frankly, I think the hype surrounding this campaign is just too big. After playing through majority of what the base game has to offer, I'm certain that the stories of Emilia or Warjack are grander and better than the half-dead. Gauldoth's campaign is still fire, don't get me wrong, but it just is not as grand as I remember it. Anyway, next up is the Pirate's Daughter. I will catch you there. Bye.